Good morning.
Good morning.
It is really cool to chat with you. There's multiple reasons I'm excited to chat with you, but I mean, first off, Tabitha, Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a role.
I know. I know it's not every day you get asked to be a supervillain.
And a supervillain whose story and plot is at the core of the entire season.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah, I know. I feel really lucky, and I've been having a lot of fun. And she's this great, strong, crazy, sadistic badass who is a master of weapons, and I get to do a bunch of stunts, and it's a dream come true. It's a lot of fun.
So set this up for me. What happened that kicked this all off? Did someone come to you and say, look, we want you to try out for this, or we want you for the part?
Yeah, I auditioned because the show has been really well received, and Batman comes with a lot of fans. So I auditioned just like everybody else, and I wasn't sure what I was auditioning for. There was some dummy sides, and then as I was getting further into it, I had some conversations with the executive producers, and they filled me in on what exactly I was going to be doing and who I was going to be playing, and then I got really excited, and then it all came together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And I know you've said before the whole idea that we see what she becomes, but there really is no backstory for her. So you kind of got to create a bit.
Yeah.
What was that process like? Like, what elements do you find that you brought in with the script?
Well, the writers really are the ones that created Tabitha Galavan and the storyline about the Galavans coming to Gotham and who they are. And they tie into some very specific old comic book mythology as well. That is going to reveal itself as the season goes on. But it was fun to just focus on who she is, and she has this sort of alter ego at the moment, but it's not Tigress quite yet.
Right.
So getting to play the origins of her and having it be a slow evolution is what's great about it.
And it being, for most people it's a surprise because really there's not a lot of backstory there. So to be able to delve into that must be interesting.
Yeah, well, every script I get, I'm wondering what I'm going to find out or what crazy things I'm going to be a part of this week. And but I don't have any sort of inside scoop as to where exactly they're going with it. They keep us very much in the dark, so we really only find out as the scripts come out. Which
makes it easier so that you're not going to slip up and reveal some huge plot.
Right? I know. I was already spoiling some things in the car today that people weren't happy with me about, so I have to be a little careful.
Well, do you have some spoilers you can tell us? Something to look forward to in the next episode?
I can tell you some of the villains that are going to be on the show coming up.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze. We're going to have Mr. Freeze this season. And Hugo Strange.
Wow.
Is coming up.
Cool.
And Paul Rubens just signed on to play Penguin's father.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, that should be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah. So those are some fun little spoilers.
So in terms of acting and the role, what's it like playing this relationship with the brother? Because really that relationship has so many levels.
Yeah.
What's going on there for you guys?
Well, it's been interesting for me because I don't have siblings in real life. So and James has a ton of siblings. So we got together before we started and sort of talked about kind of the different dynamics that we really wanted to focus on. And there's a lot of there is love and loyalty that exists there, but there's also like a lot of annoyance and resentment there. I think he's more of a father figure to her and very much keeps her on a tight leash, which somebody like her just bothers her to no end. So there's a lot of push and pull and jealousy and manipulation and give and take, and that stuff is all varied and interesting to play.
And it does seem like I guess backstage, how do you set that up? Do you guys hang out? Do you not hang out? How do you kind of set up that tension almost?
We don't really hang out. We've both been doing it for James is such a pro. He's been doing it forever, and I've been in the business for about 15 years, so you get used to just sort of switching on and off.
Right.
But we did get together right before we started filming. We had, a 2-hour coffee date and just talked about some of the things that we wanted to set up and establish. But with TV, you have to be flexible because things change on a dime. So, you have to be ready and willing to just accept whatever's happening plot-wise as it comes and not get too attached to ideas.
Because all of a sudden, things could be night and day in the next episode.
Yeah.
So then in terms of getting to do all these action sequences.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, I mean, you have a bit of background doing some of that stuff. I mean, Cloverfield, I mean, obviously, but I mean, what's it like on a day-to-day basis for you?
I think the only thing Cloverfield prepared me for this was running around in high heels. So I have to do it again. Yeah, that stuff also, you know, we don't have a lot of time. This isn't a feature film, so we put together stunt sequences on the fly, and we have a great stunt team. Our stunt coordinator, Norm, is amazing, and he just really works with what your strengths are and what you're able to do and not do, and they'll switch stuff if you can't. But there's always that moment of like, am I going to be able to pull this off? We'll see. So there's a bunch of really cool stunt stuff with me coming up that people will be excited to see. Yeah.
Well, have you mastered the Bullwhip? I mean, it seems like you seem proficient.
Mastered might be a little bit too kind, but I'm getting slowly better at it. Yeah, it's definitely a hard weapon to use. It's hard to get it to crack.
Right.
And that's sort of the main use of it is getting it to crack. So I practice as much as I can.
You're not going to be knocking a cigar out of someone's mouth at 30 paces anytime soon or anything?
I mean...
Who knows?
Maybe. I could get that good. We'll see.
Nice. So then there's the whole idea of playing a part of Gotham. I mean, Gotham as in the universe and DC Comics and everything else. Mm-hmm. What was your background? Did you have any real experience before the show, or?
No, you mean as far as just knowing about the...
Yeah.
I just am a fan like everyone else. I watched all the Nolan movies and back with the Joel Schumacher and Tim Burton movies. I didn't really read the comics.
Right.
But Batman's my favorite superhero, so I felt a lot of responsibility and nerves coming in to be a part of that canon, and it's been good.
It's such a huge world. I mean, it seems like there's a big opportunity there. And I mean, hopefully with where things go next for films, who knows, I guess. But.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing. They have so many different characters to pull from and so many different ways you could take the story.
Right.
And I like that this was such an original spin on the story that we've seen done a few times now.
Well, and we don't see a lot of the female tough enforcers and just her take on, I mean, her love for it, I guess you could say, if love is the right word.
Her love of violence.
It's nice watching her do you in the role do your thing.
Yeah, I mean, she makes no apologies for who she is, and that's been great. There's no boundaries. There's no limitations to what you can do.
Right.
Because she's not a limited person,
So do you hope that obviously, as the DC universe expands, maybe there's a part for you in one of these films? I mean, I
would love that. I feel like there's so many superhero movies now, it feels inevitable that I was going to play something at some point in the superhero world, and so I'm glad that I'm getting to play a villain of all things. They're so much more fun.
And she's such a fun villain, I have to say.
Yeah, and if I can cross over and do other things with her, that would be fantastic.
Awesome. Well, the last thing I got to ask is, the Coldplay video. I mean, I mean that to me. I mean, I knew you from Cloverfield, but seeing you in that part opposite, the whole thing. I mean, it's an amazing thing.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed that.
What's the response you get from that? Because it's so widely seen. Even my daughter loves that.
Oh,
video,
does she? See, I don't think people know it's me.
Oh, really?
Well, because I'm in a wig and I'm wearing that big suit. Yeah. So I actually didn't really hear a lot of things from people. I know people like the video, but I'm not sure people know that that's me in it.
And it will be interesting if people put the two together. Wait, Tabitha.
It's very different.
It's the ballet lover.
Granda was her name. Granda. She's very sweet. Yeah, much sweeter than Tabitha.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure chatting. Thank you so much.
Nice to talk to you.